what we do best. We got the recipe for success. We don't need sight to make something good tonight. We're rolling in the kitchen. We're gonna show you what we got. Full of the spice of life. We're stirring up the pot. We're cooking without looking. Cooking without looking. Yeah!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cooking Without Looking TV show Super Bowl Sunday edition. I'm your host, Alan Preston. And Sylvia?
And I'm Sylvia Stinson Perez, sitting in the co-host seat. Alan.
Well, today we have two people who are going to tell us how to spice up your Super Bowl spread.
Well, and this Super Bowl game, which I'm not a big Super Bowl football fan, but people love the commercials and the halftime show, and some people like the football. It's gonna be played at the Levi's Field in Santa Clara. It's number 60, and it's on February 8th. But we just learned something really cool pre-show.
Yeah.
Renee, our very own Renee Rentmeester, was a Green Bay Packers cheerleader for 4 years. I love that.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Alan.
And oddly enough, when she was a cheerleader, I was teaching up in Wisconsin, and a couple of times every year for 3 or 4 years, we pile a car full of people, teachers, and go down and watch the game. And back then I could see a little better, and I had a good pair of binoculars. I didn't know Renee then, but I do now.
And you do now.
Anyway, by the way, you guys, the game is going to be on February 8th at 3:40 p.m. That'd be 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can enjoy the game on NBC and Peacock. And even if you aren't a fan of football, by the way, I watch it for the commercials, fan of the Super Bowl, you may want to order your official Cooking Without Looking apron. Sylvia?
And to get that apron, which I love mine, I don't have it on today, but it's because I'm sitting comfy on my sofa. You just need to go to the website and click on the PayPal link to order it. And if you don't have PayPal, you can still get one. The website is www.cookingwithoutlookingtv.wordpress.com. But, so donate $55 and include your email address and on your mailing address, and it will get there to you in 3 weeks or so. Alan.
Thanks, Sylvia. Hey, and remember, all of us here on the Cooking Without Looking TV show are blind or severely visually impaired. Sylvia? Your turn.
Oh, I'm coming. So now I'm going to introduce our first guest. We have 2 great guests today. So we are joined first by my friend, Artichoke. Erica, welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Erica. Buenos dias. I'm in North Texas, and I just love watching the Cooking Without Looking show. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you, Erica. So, Erica, tell us a little about your vision loss journey.
Yeah, I have a dark sense of humor. So I like to say this year I'm celebrating my 20th blind anniversary because I became blind, visually impaired, just a few months after graduating college, believe it or not, 20 years ago. So I was 23 years young. I had just graduated with a degree in art history. I thought maybe I might work at a museum or do something in the art field one day. But the powers that be had other plans, and I had an eye infection that was undiagnosed, also undiagnosed diabetes. Both of those led to an a weird eye ulcer that wouldn't go away, and that led to permanent cornea damage, as well as let's see, I've had glaucoma shunts put in both eyes and also cataract surgery in both eyes. So a quick uh, description of myself, for our blind kind out there. I am a female Latina. I do have long dark hair it's worn in braids today, as well as a pink t-shirt. And Sylvia and I can share why we might have the matching hair today. But my brown eyes do happen to look blue due to my permanent cornea damage.
Wow, that I didn't know about that your eyes looked blue because of that.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Brown
go ahead
eyes
and
blue. They had a
share.
song about that.
Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
share why we're wearing braids today. I should have wore my pink shirt too.
Yeah, I'm wearing a pink Braille shirt that says Daring Sisters
Hmm.
because it's an organization that Sylvia and I are very blessed and lucky to be a part of. It's an amazing group of women that are all about living our best lives and braveness and self-love. And I'm sure Sylvia could describe it better. But it's over 200 Daring Sisters. And we are all blind, visually impaired. And I believe we're in over 4 countries now. And one of our beloved Daring Sister, Steph, is having a procedure today. And for her procedure, she had to braid her hair to keep it out of the way for her procedure. So we are all standing with her, encircling her with positivity and good energy. And so we're all rocking our braids as we did in person at the retreat, Sylvia.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, so good hair for a good reason, right?
Yeah. So, Erica, you want to tell us a little bit more about you, like what you do, or
Yeah,
anything? Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
You're all over social media. I'll just
I
say that,
am. I am on social
right?
media. I'm sure Renee can share the links. Find me on Facebook. I know I tagged on Facebook. I did a Facebook Live inviting my friends here, so I hope they're tuning in. I just like to share a lot about my blindness journey and my story, but also just being funny and silly and living my best life. After my blindness, I was a personal trainer for about a year, and then I started thinking, how do blind kids learn? Because I love color and I'm in both worlds, right? So how would a blind kid learn? How would I explain color? So I actually got my certification and started working with elementary special ed kids for 10 years. Now I work as a disability advocate, and myself and other adults with disabilities, kids come to us in a field trip setting and we share our disability stories. But I also started my own small business last year as an independent disability consultant. So I am using my art history degree finally. Mom and dad will be proud 20 years later. And I actually go into museums, kind of do some secret shopping, and then let them know what is working and how they could improve accessibility and inclusivity. Mhm.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, well, tell us what you're gonna be cooking today.
Yeah, today I am cooking a Super Bowl spinach artichoke dip that's honestly really good for any setting. Of course, you might hear my dog barking in the background, my puggle. Um, I'm going to show you my pot. I have this big pot on the stove, and I have one medium onion that I'm sauteing. I think this is the start to any good recipe when I start with a onion that is chopped and a stick of butter.
Mm.
So while y'all were doing the intro, I was kind of already getting this sauteed. The onion has turned from white. It's not going to get translucent because I added that butter, so it's kind of turning yellow. I do want to watch it. It is over medium heat. I want to make sure I don't caramelize the onions. That is a good flavor, but we're not looking for that flavor yet today. And in a couple of minutes, I'll probably be adding in my other ingredients I can tell you about will be I have cream cheese, I have artichoke hearts chopped up, and probably about 20 ounces of spinach, frozen chopped spinach that I drained. But yeah, so far I'm getting all the aromatics from this sauteed onion.
Any tips on draining that spinach if you're using frozen spinach, and can you use fresh spinach?
Oh, I've never used fresh. I'm sure
Mm.
you could.
Hmm.
But just for easy here,
Mhm.
convenience here in Texas, I get the frozen kind and either two small bags or two small boxes.
Mhm.
And what I did was just left them in the fridge overnight. These were bags. So
Mhm.
this morning I could kind of just squeeze some of the water out. I did cut the top off the bag and stick it in the microwave about 20 seconds. And then again, give the bag another squeeze again to squeeze out that liquid.
Oh, so heating it up in the microwave.
Yeah, just kind of helping
Mm.
the thaw. Yeah, don't get it
Mm.
too hot. You wouldn't be able to
Right.
squeeze that in your hands. So
Mhm. That's a good tip.
Erica,
yeah.
how do you go about cutting your onions? Do you use a chopper or do you do it with a knife?
I sometimes do use a chopper, but today I used a knife and I did do kind of a medium chop. I wouldn't say leave it choppy because, it's a dip. I saw that Renee had shared the tip of maybe putting some of these ingredients in the food, a food processor or a food chopper to blend them
Mhm.
together. So that is, if you want to do a shortcut. Also, if you don't want to have stinky onion hands, maybe do this Super Bowl Saturday, not Super Bowl Sunday.
But
That's
and that's the other thing about dips is, some people like them a little more chunky. Some people want them smooth as they can be.
yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
Well, I think I am going to add in my block of cream cheese.
And I'm guessing you left that on the counter all day
I
too for it to
I did I did
soften.
for a few hours, just
Hmm.
yeah, and I put it in a bowl. I will say if you're going to do that, take it out of that foil packaging because if you let it get soft in that packaging, it is so hard to get off and out.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really good tip.
It's a good idea,
I'm
yeah.
going to accept that tip because I don't usually take it out. You're right.
It's like,
Yes, it is.
I
Scrape
don't
it off
know.
with a knife.
Well, or your
But you
finger.
Well,
reserve
that's a
it
good
all,
way to
but
do
you
that.
reserve
Yep.
it all if you take it out. You're right.
Yeah, you'll get,
Yeah, good tip.
you'll get more of the 8 ounces. And I am
Mm.
using a wooden spoon. I think I'm at medium low heat. But I don't want to melt the cream cheese. So just
You
kind of,
don't?
well, I want it to soften in here, but I don't want it to just
Okay.
liquefy.
Right.
How about
Okay.
that? I don't want it
Yeah.
to liquefy.
Okay. You want it to be smooth.
Hmm. Yeah, so I can ask you guys what would y'all eat? I like veggies or tortilla chips with this. What would y'all like to eat with spinach
Potato
dip?
chips.
Potato chips. Yeah. Well, it needs to be this is going to be a hearty dip. So
Mm.
maybe a thick baked chip or something, like a
A nice
kettle chip.
tortilla
Well, like
chip.
I still like the ruffle chips for dips.
Ruffles are
I
really
I've
good.
also had that with like some kind of nice grainy bread, like the
Yeah.
pumpernickel. You know how sometimes people will then
Yummy.
carve it out and then put it inside
Ooh,
that. Yeah,
yes.
make a little bowl out of the bread.
A bread bowl for the Super Bowl. That's a
Yeah.
winner. I like that.
Hmm.
I like that. So
I
yeah.
prefer like a nice cracker with mine though. Yeah,
Yum.
I
A
like
hearty,
crackers.
grainy, gluten-free cracker. There you
Mm-hmm.
go. We could sneak in some veggie crackers for the veggie
Mm-hmm.
fans, but calories
Mm-hmm.
don't count Super Bowl weekend. I'm just gonna say.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
No
that's
calories, but
that's blended in pretty well. Next, I have a bowl of, which was one jar of what I chopped up was the artichoke hearts. So, and
yum.
Renee and maybe Sylvia know a little bit about, oh my gosh, we went out and we you know, dared the snow, and I'm glad my husband has a Jeep with four-wheel drive, and we went through the ice and snow and slipped and sled all through
How
the parking lot
fun.
Oh
and
no.
walking into the store. And y'all, we were so excited about bringing home a frozen pizza. We don't know what happened to the artichoke hearts, but shout out to my neighbor Michelle. I've never met her, but she brought me a jar of artichoke hearts. So a Super Bowl miracle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is blending in pretty well. And probably here. Artichoke hearts. I wonder what color they are before they go into the jar because they're kind of like a lime green, translucent color.
Is that a gas stove you're cooking on?
I am. We're cooking with gas,
Thank
baby.
you, thank you, thank you. I hate my electric stove.
We are cooking with gas, so we do have to watch. And that's blended in. So I'm gonna bring in the spinach. The spinach, yeah. And in case anyone has never paid attention, when you drain spinach, the liquid that comes out is green. It is leprechaun juice.
Do you use that juice, Erica, for
No,
anything? Okay.
no, I just drain it
Never.
and I've seen it on a
Yeah.
plate
I
and I
don't
just thought,
worry about colors.
you don't worry about
If
colors.
I can't see them, I don't care as long as it tastes good.
That's true. That's true. Taste is more important, but I'm still the art history nerd and colors make me happy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yes, I'm just stirring it all in.
I think you could save that stuff for St. Patty's Day.
We could. We could.
Then you can ask AI to send us a little bit of it.
Yeah. Ask AI to send you a taste. That's right. And I did put optional on the recipe that I sent to Renee to share with everybody, optional chili pepper flakes, optional salt
Yeah.
and pepper, because, like we mentioned, tortilla chips or chips, those are salty to me. So I don't want to add
Yeah.
too much salt. Also, here in a minute, I'll be adding 2 cups of cheese. And some people might think cheese is a little salty and in a good way. So we don't want to add too much salt. So then you might have to get some beer to wash it down with if you're really doing
Yeah.
Super Bowl right.
Unless you're a fan of cooking with wine.
Yeah, that's true. So what wine goes with spinach dip? And I did just add in
Well,
my
let's see. I personally prefer a Zinfandel, but
white
almost
Zinfandel.
anything.
I happen to know someone who's going to be our next guest, who's a big wine expert. So,
I can't wait.
uh-huh.
I can't wait. I did just add in a bag of 8 ounces or 2 cups of shredded Italian blend cheese. Now, the original recipe for this was really fancy and it said 1 cup mozzarella, half cup of, this and a
Oh,
half
yeah.
cup of parm, but let's just do the Italian blend and call it a day.
Yeah.
Because the Italian blend has all the different cheeses in it that you're going to need. So yeah, that's about it. I'm just going to blend it in.
Yeah, and show us when you're finished blending, show us the finished product.
Yeah, it
For
kind of
anybody who
is.
can see
For
it.
anyone who can see, yeah, I might just put the lid on and I probably will serve some up on a plate in a little bit while Gabriel's making his.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's it. Thanks for tuning in and I'll give you
Oh my
guys,
God, I could almost taste it.
taste it. I will promise I'll taste it and let you guys know in a little bit what it's like.
Okay.
But I am gonna put the lid on it. I would say do that for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Let it just all heat through together and marinate. And yeah, but
And you
that's
serve
about
this
it.
hot, right, Erica?
Yeah, I would serve it definitely, or at least warm. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. So
Sounds
thanks.
delish.
Thank you.
Sounds delish.
Yeah.
Thank you
Sounds
very much,
divine.
Erica.
You're
That sounds
welcome.
Thank you
absolutely
so much for
excellent.
sharing.
For sure. Thanks, guys.
Well, now we're going to meet Gabriel Lopez-Kafati. Welcome, Gabriel.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
tell us a little bit about yourself and your trip through blindness.
Trip to blindness. Well, my trip to blindness started actually here in Miami. I was born and raised in Honduras in Central America, but I used to visit Miami for summer vacation with my parents and extended family. So in one of those trips, I went to the ophthalmologist because we were supposed to get new glasses made, and the ophthalmologist said, "Uh-oh, there's something here." So I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa
Oh,
and started, that road towards
yeah.
total blindness. I was, my RP or retinitis pigmentosa was always, while I was younger, it was plateaus. So I would have 4, 5, 6 years of very steady, stable vision. I graduated high school. I was, blessed to be in an American school and then transition into law school in Honduras, became an attorney. But then midway into working as an attorney in Honduras, I lost too much sight. I felt I couldn't possibly do it. I started researching and came to Miami. This is where I met Sylvia, was my first mentor and counselor at the Miami Lighthouse. Then eventually couldn't go back and decided to stay here. Went back to school, did an MBA with a concentration in management, and did some work with healthcare. Also went into politics, and then decided to go into higher education. I taught some classes, but ultimately as a disability and accessibility professional. I worked at several institutions like Miami-Dade College and currently work as Director of Accessibility Services at Barry University here in Miami Shores. And that's, what else can I tell you? Live in a household with a roommate and my partner. We're all blind. We're all guide dog users. I have my retired guide dog who, her name is Posh. She's a yellow female lab. And I have my active working guide dog. Believe it or not, his name is Gabe. And
Oh, no.
Cool.
yeah. And that's about it. I do a lot of advocacy for blind and visually impaired. Part of the board of directors of the American Council of the Blind, and I also, like Sylvia said, I also am a wine consultant. Love yoga, and I also another thing that I ventured into doing, but I'm not practicing currently, is I did a certification to become a life coach. So those are a few. That's like in a nutshell, I think.
That's quite an interesting life, Gabriel.
Oh,
Wow.
I know. Thank you.
Now, getting back to food, which is kind of the point of our whole show.
I know.
And that you took a favorite recipe of yours and transformed it into a Super Bowl recipe.
I did. So I love doing chicken fajitas, but the way in which I do them with like a little between Hispanic and Middle Eastern, because that's my combination. The two last names. I'm Lopez. My dad's Hispanic. My mom was born in Honduras, but Palestinian descendant. And I kind of mixed it up a little bit. In Honduras, we eat enchiladas, but they're dry enchiladas. They're not the typical enchiladas that you'll see here in America, which is the ones that are baked and are all saucy and melted cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the U.S., I think you'll find them more frequently by the name of tostada, which is basically the tortilla.
Oh, yeah.
Is either fried or baked and then topped with, refried beans and meat of your choice, which in this case is going to be chicken fajita. And I'm doing some pico de gallo to go next to it. So I'm gonna get started. I have most of it already in process. So just for time, this is my chicken here. I have it all chopped. I chopped it off smaller pieces than what I would usually do. So I do use a couple of secret ingredients. Instead of using too much salt, I use garlic salt and onion powder. So I love this little spoon. For those who can see, it's a very tiny, tiny spoon, because 3 of these would be the equivalent of 2 of these would be the equivalent of a teaspoon. Actually,
Gabriel, is it like a demi-tasse spoon? Those little
it is.
Okay.
It is. Okay. It is. So I'm doing 1 spoon of smoked paprika, which is one of my favorite, which is kind of the Middle Eastern influence of it. I'm doing a little bit of the, a teaspoon and a half of the garlic, and a teaspoon and a half of the onion powder. And then I love that I use the pepper shaker. This is one of my favorite ingredients, appliances. I love shaking the pepper, and I know how much it's going in because I do, basically for this amount of chicken, there's 3 chicken breasts in here. I do about 9 squirts of it. And then I do top it off with a little bit, just a tiny bit of kosher salt, because it's, salt is always, but that I do let sprinkle on my hand, and I just let it.
That's a great tip, to sprinkle it into your hand.
That's what I
I
always
do that
do.
frequently.
Now for the oil, instead of putting the oil on the pan and having everything jump at me, what I do is I measure vegetable oil. I measure a half a cup, so I'm using a quarter, half a cup, and then while I do that, I'm gonna put this here. I am going to turn on my skillet, which is over here in the stove, at high, and then here I go again with my hands, mixing in all the chicken. The fajita style of the chicken is gonna come when I throw in the onions, but I was talking to Renee, and I wanted to chop the onions with you on camera so that you can see one of my favorite gadgets.
Wow.
Sorry.
Can't wait to see it.
Can you tell me what your gadget is?
He's
I'm
going to
sorry?
tell us. He's
He
going to
will.
tell us.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
sorry.
No, that's okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna wash my hands now.
So, Gabriel, I love that you just did that with your hands. I personally don't love to touch chicken, but I really do believe, and I think we've really tried to emphasize that on here, is that real chefs, real people who really like to cook, including people who are not blind, use their hands.
Oh yeah,
There's
I love using my
nothing
hands.
wrong with using your
Nope,
hands.
there's
Use
nothing
them.
wrong, especially if you're, washing them constantly. I have all sorts of rags. Everything I
Yep.
touch, I then wash my hands, because as my skillet is warming up, I'm just gonna show you. I have already the tortillas ready.
Did you make these homemade tortillas?
No, Sylvia, I did not.
But I bet you know how.
I could try. So I made it with Pam, and I'm putting them in the oven instead of frying them. I'm just putting them in the oven at 375. And at the same time, I didn't want to do everything at once, because then, time, I know, is of the essence. At the same time, I have my refried beans, which is a staple in every Central American house. You boil the beans with salt. That's a probably show for another time. But then you smash them with, like, if you were making mashed potatoes, and then you just refry them with a tiny bit of either Pam or some vegetable oil.
Can I be honest with you, Gabriel? I
Yeah.
just came back from Honduras, and this was my second time there, and that is my least favorite thing. I don't like them, but they are literally, he's right, they are served with everything, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Every meal, they're there. Yeah.
So now this is one of my favorite sounds. What I do is I grab a little piece of the chicken to make sure that the temperature is good on the skillet. You hear that? I don't know if you can hear that.
Yes.
Yep.
So there it goes. And then I spread it all around.
This is some place where you're better off using a utensil than your fingers.
I'm sorry?
In the fry pan, better to use a utensil than your fingers.
Yeah, you've got to use your fingers for that. Now, once the chicken is already in the skillet, I do use a wooden spoon to spread it all apart and make sure that it gets cooked evenly.
What is it you're doing there? Just mixing it up?
Yep, I'm just mixing it up, making sure that it gets cooked evenly. Then I just lowered the temperature a little bit because I wanted to start, just sealing and then cooking on the inside. While I do that, my refried beans have been on the stove because refried beans need to be cooked slow at low temperature. So you put them in a pot or in a pan with a little bit, like I said, of the Pam spray or a little bit of vegetable oil, and you mix them all around and let them just do their thing. My tortillas are in the oven, as you heard a moment ago. So I'm gonna now transition into showing you my my Pico de Gallo, which is, I would say, halfway done. But I wanted to show some of the chopping, and that's why I left that part for us to do here. So,
knowing your kitchen is very important.
yes, knowing the kitchen, and I learned the basics of kitchen when I used to love design and architecture, and I know the whole concept of the triangle. Your kitchen is supposed to be your kitchen is supposed to be arranged in a way that there's a triangle between your sink, your stove, and your refrigerator.
Never more than 2 steps or something like that.
Yep. So, as you all will see, the other thing is that since the chicken needs a little bit more time, I left the onions for later. So I will be throwing in the onions for the chicken in a little bit. Now, for the Pico de Gallo, I have my chopped tomato. The way in which I chop my tomato is with this device. I don't know if it can be seen in camera, which was a Christmas present from my partner, Anthony.
You might want to hold
What
it
is
up.
it, Gabriel?
So it's a chopper, Sylvia.
Oh, okay.
So
and Renee says you have to hold it up a little bit.
Oh, bring it up. Okay. So it's this, and I'm using it on the side that has the squares. So what I do to chop, whether it be any vegetable or fruit, I make sure that I cut them in a way in which they are flat on one of the surfaces. So right now I'm cutting an onion, making sure that I get flat surfaces. Then I'll put it on the chopper and then just that's it, and there it goes.
And just push it down one time and it's done, huh?
Yep. Push it down. Here's another piece of the onion. Push it down and it's done.
Where did you get that? Sorry,
I think my partner got it on Amazon.
Amazon.
You don't know what it's called, though? Do you know what it's called?
Yeah, because I can't see, so I don't
think
know
it's
what
called
it
a
looks
vegetable
like.
chopper.
Oh, a vegetable chopper. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see, and they have different. You can replace the things if you want it finer chopped. If you want
Oh, different blades. Okay.
different types of blades. Yep.
Mhm.
So now I have my onions chopped here. I'm gonna mix them in with.
Okay, that was super quick. I love it.
You see, the
Wow.
onions are completely chopped.
Wow, that's awesome.
And
I
now
want one.
the other thing that I had to have ready, because it takes ages to just peel off the cilantro from the little stems
Mhm.
and wash it. So I had this ready, and I'm mixing in the cilantro. I'm using half of the bunch. And I think, I am going to need more onion. So I'm going to steal an onion from the chicken for
Okay.
Pico.
the Pico de Gallo, because the tomatoes were bigger than what I expected. So I used 6 tomatoes. I wanted to stay true to the recipe. So it just means that we'll have leftover Pico de Gallo, which never
There's
goes wrong.
nothing wrong with that. I love it.
Me too.
Now, now one of my as I assemble or before I assemble the lime juice and mix everything here on the pico, I am going to check on my chicken, and I know that Sylvia had mentioned something which was not on the recipe because I did not know if it was okay or not okay. I do a little splash of wine on chicken.
Yeah.
Of course.
So
I do a little splash of wine on everything almost. That
I
I
normally take a little sip of wine, but
well, I love cooking with wine,
yeah.
meaning
Yeah.
as part of the recipe, but also as part of what I'm drinking.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
gonna tell you a secret that I learned from my cousin who went to culinary school. So once you throw the wine in, so what happens is that any meat, whether it be chicken or beef, once it hits the skillet at that temperature, it's gonna leave like marks. And that's basically some of the flavor of the outside part of the skin while it's sealing. So what I learned is that you can kind of remove those particles from the edges of your pan or your pot with the wine, and that gives it a wonderful flavor. So what I did is I threw a little bit, maybe a quarter cup of a glass of wine, a quarter cup of wine, and put the temperature up so that it evaporates and consumes.
Do you know what that's called, Gabriel?
I forgot the name. I
It's
know there's
deglazing. It's called
deglazing. I knew it was
deglazing.
glazing something.
Deglazing.
Yeah.
And it is.
Deglazing.
It's what gets all the yummy parts that stick to the pan to join into the mix.
Correct. So now I'm going to show you, I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to describe the way in which I chop the onions for the chicken. I don't use a chopper for that because it's bigger pieces. So again, making sure that they're on a flat that I find a flat surface for them, or I make them flat, and then just start, whatever part is flat, I just put it against the chopping board and then just start chopping. For this recipe, it doesn't matter. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be juliennes. They just need to be chopped. So I just chop away because I don't want them so small. If I put them through the chopper, they're going to be very small, and then they're not going to be part of the actual chicken. They're going to be more like, I don't want to say evaporated, but they're going to be
they'll be more like a seasoning than an ingredient.
More like a seasoning, correct. And they're going to become soggy. So I want them to be more caramelized. So I just chopped one onion. I love doing this. I learned this from my mom. I don't know if I learned most of what I cook from my mom, but I don't know if everyone does this. But I love cutting on the board and then pushing whatever we cut with the knife into the pot.
And so what's your tip for making sure you get it into the pot or pan once you have it on that cutting board?
Give me a second, Sylvia.
How do you know it's going into the pan?
I think I heard your question. How do you make sure that it goes into the pot?
Yep.
I follow the heat.
Okay.
And then I make sure that I center the chopping board like dead center on top of the pot.
Okay.
Or the pan. And then what I do is that I just start using the knife to roll everything into the pot. And whatever sticks to the chopping board, again, I use my hands. To make sure that everything goes in there. So you'll see that right now what I'm going to do is I'm finishing with the onions. I'm going to throw the rest of the onions into the chicken. I'm giving it one more stir.
You're stirring up the chicken right now, right? On top of the stove?
It's smelling wonderful.
You wish you could smell it.
My stomach's growling just thinking about it.
So, the chicken, I like to make sure that it is fully cooked. That is very important. So I lower the temperature to medium, and then I cover the skillet with the lid and just let it sit for about 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, what I will do is I'm going to cut my lime, if I find it. Oh, it's in the fridge, sorry. So I will also introduce you to another of my favorite gadgets, because I love lime on everything.
Mhm.
So it's this metal thing that has two parts, and you put half of the lime in it, and then the other part closes on top of the lime, and then you just press and squeeze.
Do you have to be a real bodybuilder to make that work?
No, well, depends. These limes seem to be very, very big and not so juicy. So you typically do not, even though right now it seems like I do.
You just got hold of a tough lime, that's all.
It is a tough lime. And you know what? The thing that I learned about limes is that when they're that tough, they're not that juicy. So I'm going to use my second lime, which I had ready already here, because I figured when I felt these limes, I said, these probably are not going to be
juicy.
See, this one was smaller, and see how easy it was?
Mhm.
Let me show you with the second half. You'll see how I'm not making faces and contortion. Look, see, really quick, smooth. So for the pico, salt and pepper are optional. So I don't use salt. So pepper. So just salt. I love this pink Himalayan salt that you just do with the. And with this, since I did 5 tomatoes, I'm doing 10 squirts. I don't know how to call it. 10, where you
10
twists.
Twists.
That's a perfect word. Thank you. So
As
now
long as you know your salt shaker or salt grinder.
Yep. So now I have the Pico de Gallo, is not those many ingredients. You need tomato, onion, salt, cilantro, fresh cilantro, lime juice, and that's it.
You can also kick it up with a little bit of chilies and jalapenos.
Yes, chilies. I don't eat spicy, believe it or not, but people do.
Jalapenos.
Yes, my dad loves it with jalapenos.
Me too.
So it smells wonderful because the ingredients are fresh, and it's so just, the combination. I love the smell of the cilantro.
Yeah.
So at this point, I will just need to check on the chicken, which I'm sure is ready, and I will be ready to assemble the enchilada, the dry enchilada, to show it to everybody.
That's a great time of year to cook in the kitchen too and keep that place nice and warm, isn't it?
It is.
Of course, down here, my air conditioner is still running, so.
It won't be this weekend.
Not this weekend, no.
Okay, so my tortillas should be ready.
Gabriel, I actually prefer the way you're describing it versus the one that's all like saucy. I like to taste, to me, this way you can taste the ingredients.
Yes. Yes, the other one is more of a version of like some sort of like I call it like a Mexican lasagna.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a
No,
good
I just-
definition.
I just need a look to get one of the tortillas. From the oven. So what I'm doing now is I'm assembling.
So what's the order?
So I'm grabbing the tortilla and putting it in a plate.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna spread some of the refried beans on the tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
So just spread it around like you
Mhm.
would be spreading,
Tostada.
I would say, peanut butter in a
Mhm.
loaf, in a slice of bread.
Mm-hmm.
So this gives it like a little bit of cushion and another texture in between the chicken and the tortilla. So now I'm gonna grab the chicken with the caramelized onions and put them on top of the enchilada. Now we come to our friend Pico. Put it on the side. And let me do something else before showing the finished product. Everything is better with
Ay, like a tostada, huh?
with either cheese or something similar. So
I agree.
sour cream.
Sour cream works too.
So a dollop of sour cream next to the tostada. And here we go.
Show us your finished product.
Okay,
Mhm.
let me know if
Renee, you're going to have to guide on this one. I can't see it.
Yes, Gabe, hold it up to your chest.
okay.
And
I don't think he's
turn
quite
it a
done
little.
yet. I don't think he's, are you done?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Show it away.
Okay. Is this good, Renee? Do I have to
Tilt
angle
it a
it?
little to the camera. Tilt it a little to the camera.
Don't dump
There
it
you
on the
go.
floor.
Yeah, that's great. It's beautiful.
Now, the main question is, what wine will you pair with this?
Well, since I already opened a bottle of a Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley, which is not just any cab, it is a bourbon barrel aged cab, which gives it a lot of the smokiness of the bourbon barrel.
Mhm.
And I think it pairs so nicely because there are so many flavors here that you need something.
Mhm.
Believe it or not, this dish, even though as you could see or hear, I used minimal amount of vegetable oil for the chicken. But it is a dish that has a lot of flavor, so you do need a nice, more full body wine to wash up all the, all those flavors that are kind of like attacking your palate.
Mm.
And I think the Cabernet will definitely do a very good job. Any red blend, if you're not a fan of Cabernet, I don't think a white would do with this one, especially the time of the year. It's cold. You want something more on the red side, but definitely either a full body cab or a red blend. I love the Bogle Vineyard families. They have very good blends if you need a recommendation.
That's a really good tip, Gabriel. Gabe, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
And
Gracias.
now, Sylvia.
Renee, it's
Time
time
for-
to hear who is going to receive the Any Day cookware, which I still love mine. Used it a couple
Nice.
days ago.
Give it to me.
Hey,
Baby.
Sylvia, this is Erica and Renee and Alan. I do want to show you guys if my camera's on.
Oh,
I did
that's right. You're finished.
serve up my plate. I have about maybe at least more than half a cup, a big heaping of my spinach artichoke dip. It's served on a blue plate because I love colors and contrast. And I have some orange carrot sticks and some tortilla strips that I think this is a touchdown.
Awesome. Can you see it, Renee? Is it showing?
Erica, move it a little to your right.
My right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't put a picture in the chat, but
Closer to the edge of the counter.
about there.
The opposite way. Yeah, the opposite way. Okay, yeah, to your left. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Depends on whether you move the camera or the dish.
Right.
Yep. So I won't smile at the camera anymore because I'm pretty sure I have spinach dip in my teeth. But yeah,
so you can tell it if it tastes good.
I did. And I would say, Sylvia, you made me think. I think if I sauteed the onion, the day before, I could probably assemble this whole spinach dip in the anyday cookware in the microwave.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. You could. 100% you could.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Renee, who's getting this anyday cookware, Renee?
And a funny thing you should mention, anyday cookware. We did not have a contest, but we had someone who has backed our show for years. She's visited our show and been a part of it ever since we started the Any Day, and before that, she's been on our show, and she's also helped us out when we needed a substitute a substitute host. So this week's Any Day Cookware goes to Erica Sanchez-Kress.
Yay!
Aw, thank you.
Yay, Erica.
She's gonna have to come now. You're gonna have to come and make something when you get your anyday cookware.
Yes, I will. I definitely will. And even if we're on a retreat, right, Sylvia?
That's right. Well, I don't know. That might be tough. Well, thank you so much, Erica and Gabriel, for fabulous recipes. Thank you for being fabulous people. And both of you made things that I would love to eat. So if you would like today's recipes or past recipes, go to the website www.cookingwithoutlookingtv.wordpress.com. Alan?
And if you would like to enjoy today's show or past podcasts, please go to our Cooking Without Looking YouTube channel. And please remember to like and subscribe and share.
And if you want to hear the podcasts, which there's way more than just this show, Renee is interviewing people all the time. You can check out the Cooking Without Looking podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or anywhere you get your podcasts, but also on the Alexa-enabled devices and Victor Reader.
And you can donate to Vision World Foundation to help us with our mission to change the way we see blindness. Just go to our website at www.cookingwithoutlooking.tv.wordpress.com and click on the PayPal link near the top of the page. Or for more information, you can call area code 305-200-9104. Sylvia?
And we just want to give another shout out and thanks to Any Day Cookware for their support. And just share that you can look for the next show in February. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you for being here. Thanks, everyone.
And Renee and all of us on the Cooking Without Looking show and Vision World Foundation. And hey, don't forget to order your official Cooking Without Looking apron. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
What are we doing?
You wanna see what we do best? We got the recipe for success. We don't need sight to make something good tonight. We're rolling in the kitchen.
Bye.